My 34 male, wife 30 female, left me after 5 years of marriage for another man. After a few weeks of living together, he mentally, emotionally, and physically abused her. She left him and now doesn't want to move forward with our divorce. Approximately a month and a half ago, I learned that my 5-year-old wife had been having an affair with a boy she had dated while she was in high school. She supposedly came to the conclusion that our relationship was unsalvageable and moved in with him after I discovered what she had done. Because we don't have any children, I filed for divorce as soon as I could. My wife's new relationship ended up fizzling out fairly quickly. After 2 weeks of her moving in with me, my buddy, who is a police officer, informed me that they were getting complaints virtually every night from neighbors stating that they were shouting at one another, striking each other, and so on. Everything came to a climax around a week ago now. There was a major argument between them, and he ended up beating her so severely that she had to be taken to the hospital. He was detained, and she was issued with a restraining order, which resulted in the termination of their relationship. My wife has returned to her former residence. She asked that I accompany her since she was concerned about her safety. I agreed, but for the time being, I'm staying in the extra room. She seems to feel that the fact that I am aiding her rehabilitation and that we are both living in the house presents a chance for us to rekindle our connection with one another. She has decided that she does not want to continue with the divorce. I'm not interested in rekindling our relationship at this time. But the betrayal I feel is something I don't think I'll ever be able to forgive myself for. I want to assist her in healing and keeping her safe. My family feels that I am a cold-hearted person. He was also abusive to her the first time she was in a relationship with him. He's a decade more older than she is. Apparently, my wife cheated on me because this guy abused her when she was younger and has now brainwashed her, according to my sister. I don't want to come off as a jerk. My wife had been the victim of a crime. That is why I want to do all in my power to assist her in getting back on her feet. But I'm still on the lookout for a new beginning. She told me she was taking her mother to the doctor while really driving to some random guy's house and cheating on me in the midst of a pandemic, which was ridiculous. That's all I can think of right now. My family, on the other hand, is constantly telling me that we are all in this together and that we must get through this together. My mother often remarks that this was the for better or worse component of our wedding vows. This was not what I had in mind when I spoke those words. Maybe I'm not as compassionate as I appear. Story 2. I'm pretty sure she's cheating. How do I confront her? Background: I dated my current GF for approximately a year before we split up over some stupid things. I had been depressed for 6 months. I tried to contact her, but she had begun dating someone else. She expressed a desire to rekindle her relationship. However, her current BF is quite controlling and served as her RA at college. She's 25 and returned to school. She said she attempted to break up with him, but he refused. As a result, she said that we would have to wait 2 months, i.e., until the end of the semester, before she could formally block him. She said she was living like a divorced couple with him at college, hadn't had with him in months, and that dating someone at school was the worst mistake she'd ever made. We up every time she came down to the city for the past 2 months. She is now studying/externing in Europe, and we had a fantastic weekend together just before she left. A week after she arrived, her ex posted an Instagram story exposing her for infidelity. She specifically downloaded Hinge, a dating app, and began interacting with men in Europe. I had no idea. Her ex uploaded her profile, which was quite flirtatious, as well as her conversation with some man. He reached out to the guy on Instagram somehow, in which she plainly indicated she was seeking for anything casual. She told me everything the moment her ex posted it on Instagram. She said that she was searching for somebody to hang out with and receive travel suggestions for Europe, and that she was hoping for something platonic. She is now on externship and has no US coworkers. She even updated her profile to reflect unequivocally that she was searching for something totally platonic. I explicitly asked her if she wanted to be single while in Europe, since she is young and would be there for a long time. She refused, stating that she preferred to remain with me. I gave her the benefit of the doubt, since I didn't want to be as domineering as her prior ex. But, Just the other day, I downloaded Hinge, adjusted my location, and saw that she had changed her profile description from strictly platonic to cute. This reminded me of our face-to-face conversations when she was in Europe. For example, she was virtually always intoxicated every night, and I figured she was simply hanging out by herself at restaurants and bars. I'm guessing she's out on dates and getting drunk now. Should I address her through her Hinge profile, wait till I learn more, or let her go? I had planned to see her at the end of September, but it doesn't seem worth the money if she has side mails. Update. So, less than a week after being spotted chatting with another guy on Hinge, you updated your profile from strictly platonic to cute. So I'm hoping you find the attractive guy. GL, her surname. She went on to say that I had a superior mentality, that I put her down, and so on. As several of you said here, I'm basically playing the victim card. What's interesting is that every time I attempt to offer her advice, she dismisses me as stupid and essentially puts me down. To get her point over, she has a propensity to shut down and do things that essentially amount to shooting herself in the foot. Anyway, what surprised me was that she eventually revealed that she was unmarried when she left New York and that she still is. Something that is blatantly contradictory to what she told me when we reconnected and when her ex first exposed her, as per story above. I haven't reacted since her reply confirms what I anticipated. She's now blocked and all of her images have been erased. I do, however, really hope she finds happiness somewhere out there. Although she wouldn't speak about it much, I believe she had a lot of previous trauma, which is why she behaved the way she did with me. Story 3. Please motivate me, female 19, to break up with him, male 22. For the last 3 weeks, I've been away from home without my so. Despite the fact that we've been dating for 3 years, he messaged me once while we were on our vacation, indicating that he was in the market for engagement rings. His infidelity has plagued me throughout our whole relationship, despite the fact that this is my first relationship. 1 month into our relationship, and after he had successfully stolen my virginity, he emailed a female he had met earlier, purely for purposes, telling her she was the most beautiful woman he had ever slept with. Great start. One of the most recent things he did, that I am aware of, was to email nudes to a pregnant friend of his. She is also aware that we are in a relationship. A map of porn actresses, his ex-girlfriends, and women from whom he has obtained nudes was once uncovered on his computer, and I was shocked to learn it. I told him to take it off, and he kind of did, but not completely. He did, in fact, save and email a few of them to himself on Facebook, along with a huge list of URL. He was not the only one. When we were dating at the time, he once told a girl he was taking a vacation from the female he was seeing in order to write "take off the shirt" and flirt with her on Snapchat. We were already dating at the time and had never taken a break from anybody. He has achieved a great deal more than just this. When he told me he was looking at engagement rings, I realized I wouldn't be able to say yes and commit to him if I didn't trust him and continually questioned his motives and intentions. This also made me realize that I had no future in this relationship. I'll never be able to truly trust him, and I definitely don't want children with someone who would cheat on me and bring the family to its knees. The breakup will be the most painful aspect. He has been the only person in my life, aside from my family, for the last 3 years, and saying goodbye will be terrible for both of us. Could you perhaps lend a hand and motivate me a bit further? I understand why I should do it, but it's really difficult to say goodbye to someone who has played such an important role in my life and history.